Holy fucking shit, that game scared the fuck out of me. I almost had a heart attack watching that. I mean, that was that we squeaked that win. We did not deserve that win whatsoever. But you know, we are not complaining. We do not look in the Champions League, we get what we can. Okay, the past 2 seasons we've gotten grouped. So 6 points through 2 weeks is immense for us. I mean, that almost guarantees we're getting out of the group. That was our toughest game in the group by far, Porto away, and it's out of the way. We get the 3 points. Let's get into some player ratings. This is a starting 11 that Barca put forth today. The subs were Fermin Lopez, Marcos Alonso, Sergio Roberto for some odd fucking reason, and obviously Ferran Torres, who came in for Lewandowski, and the manager, of course, was Xavi Hernandez. Let's rate each player from 1 through 10 as well as the manager, and yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with our goalkeeper, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. He gets an 8 out of 10 for me, one of our best players today. I mean, he's always one of our best players. Ter Stegen is immense. To me, a top 3 keeper in the world with no debate about that. His shot stopping today made a lot of routine saves because Porto had a lot of attacks, but really most of their attacks weren't that threatening, if that makes any sense. I mean, they didn't have any crazy shots where Ter Stegen made. He made some good saves, though, but a lot of them were routine, but he was still immense for us. I mean, he makes me so calm. Every time there's a shot on goal, I know Ter Stegen is going to do something with it. And playing out from the back, Porto were pressing high up for most of that game, and his ability to play out from the back helped us a lot. So he gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Ter Stegen, always one of our best players. Moving on to the right back position, we have Joao Cancelo, who to me gets a 5 out of 10. Wasn't great today. I mean, one of his worst performances, not his worst performance in a Barcelona shirt this season, of course, because he's only played for us for one fucking season. Defensively, he was good, made some good reads, made some good interceptions. I thought he was sound defensively. Probably his best game, honestly, defensively. But going forward, he was a ghost, and he almost gave away that penalty. Also had some sloppy passes that led to some dangerous Porto counterattacks. So not his best performance, in my opinion. So 5 out of 10. Moving on to the center backs and starting off with Ronald Araujo, who gets a 6 out of 10 for me. He's not as imposing as I want him to be yet. I think he's still easing his way back from that injury, which obviously kept him sidelined for like a month. So it's expected he's not going to be back to 100% just yet. But I think he did some pretty good things, like obviously defensively. He made some big interceptions, made some big tackles. He wasn't the reason why we played this poorly defensively. It was mostly the midfield. I think Araujo absorbed that pressure really well. So he gets a 6 out of 10 for me. Then moving on to his center back partner, Jules Koundé, who gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Man of the match performance to me. Best player on the pitch today. I mean, he saved us so many times. This guy, bro. That last-ditch tackle he made saved us the game. It saved us the fucking game. And if it wasn't for him, we can see there probably it's a one-on-one with the keeper. And who knows, maybe Ter Stegen makes a save. But I don't think it's likely. And Jules Koundé, I mean, he's worth every penny we paid for him. He's been our best player this season. He's been the best center back in the world, in my opinion. And he showed it again today. Just amazing. 9 out of 10, man of the match performance. Left back, we got Alejandro Balde, who gets a 7 out of 10 for me. One of our best players today. I think it goes Koundé, Ter Stegen, and then Balde. Balde offensively was great. Was one of the only players that created anything going forward. Defensively, they didn't really attack his side that much. They mostly attacked the other side, so he didn't have much to do defensively. But when he did have something to do defensively, he did a pretty good job, in my opinion. He was basically one of our only threats going forward, like I said. I think he played a pretty good game. Continues to show that he's one of the best left backs in the world, so he gets a 7 out of 10 from me. A very good performance from Balde. Moving on to the midfield and starting off with Oriol Romeu, who to me gets a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, Porto were doing whatever they wanted through the middle, and he wasn't really doing much to alleviate that pressure. Going forward, he had some sloppy passes. I think he had his worst performance in a Barca shirt today. So to me, Romeu gets a 5.5 out of 10. When you have this many injuries in the midfield, you take what you can from a guy like that, but just wasn't his best game, in my opinion. Moving on to Gavi, who to me gets a 3 out of 10. I mean, he was just too aggressive today. What are you doing, bro? Our midfield is already weak enough as it is, and you get sent off, and now you're leaving us compromised for our next Champions League game, which is just unacceptable, in my opinion. He's got to learn to control his emotions better. You can't be doing that. I mean, stop tackling players all the time. That guy had no threat to do anything, and you're grabbing onto a shirt and getting a second yellow card, and now you get a red, which is unacceptable, in my opinion. He's got to do better. He's got to not let the team down like that. He let the team down today. With that red card, he lets the team down today, and thank God we got the 3 points. But down to 10 men, with that much pressure and the way we were playing, we could not afford to go down to 10 men. And Gavi obviously didn't help in that instance. So because he's the reason why we were down to 10 men. So to me, he gets a 3 out of 10. Worst player on the pitch today because of his actions, not because of his play, but because of his attitude and his action. Ilkay Gundogan to me gets a 7 out of 10 because he had the only assist of the game because obviously we scored 1 goal. He made a good pass to Ferran Torres, which is pretty much the obvious pass. He had to make that pass, but it was a good pass nonetheless. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I honestly didn't really see him much of the game. I mean, he was dropping deep to receive the ball and to alleviate some of that pressure, which was obviously immense for us, but just wasn't his best performance today. He gets a 7 out of 10 solely because of that assist, because that was obviously huge for us. But if it wasn't for that assist, he'd be down in like the 5 range, in my opinion. Moving on to the 16-year-old Lamine Yamal, who to me gets a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, today he wasn't great. We're still taking players on. We're still trying to do things like going forward, of course. But I think he was sick today, apparently. Apparently he had like some stomach virus or something, and he had to go take like a shit in the 71st minute, which is crazy that he still played this game. I mean, starting in the Champions League at 16 years old, you can't really ask much more of this kid. I mean, he's been immense for us this season. Was not his best performance per se, in my opinion, but when you're playing with a stomach virus, I mean, there's only so much you can ask of this kid, and I think he was not our worst player today by far. Not our best player, but not our worst player. So 6.5 out of 10 for me. Lewandowski gets a 4 out of 10 because he didn't do much. I mean, in the minutes he was on the pitch, he wasn't great, and then obviously he went off injured. I hope he gets better, of course, because we need him. But we're actually going to talk about Ferran Torres instead, who scored the only goal of the game. A great finish, by the way. I mean, he's had some trouble in front of goal throughout his whole career. That was a really good finish. And today he was dropping deep to receive the ball. He was actually creating some things going forward for us, and he just helped alleviate that pressure a lot, in my opinion. So Ferran, in my opinion, actually gets a 7 out of 10. I think he was one of our best players today. It just helped us out a lot when he came on. And then we have Joao Felix, who gets a 5 out of 10 for me. I mean, he wasn't great today whatsoever, in my opinion. I didn't really see him that much during the game, which is obviously not great because you want to see your attackers on the pitch and you want to know that they're on the pitch. And I kind of forgot he was on the pitch for most of this game. Hasn't been great for the past 3 games, but obviously, you got to be patient with him. Playing in his former rival's home stadium. Obviously, he played for Benfica, playing at Porto today. So the crowd was very hostile. They were whistling at him when he came off the pitch. So I think he did pretty well with leading, due to the circumstances and the environment he was in. But just wasn't that great today, in my opinion. 5 out of 10. And then finishing it up with the subs, Fermin Lopez to me gets a 6 out of 10. I wish he would have come on a lot earlier than he did, but obviously Xavi made that choice, so whatever. But I think he did some good things when he came on. And then Marcos Alonso and Sergio Roberto both get 5 out of 10. And then finally, our manager Xavi gets a 7 out of 10. I think he did the best he could with what he had. I mean, obviously our team is extremely injured right now, and I think in the second half, he had a good game plan of just defend. Let's just not concede a goal because obviously we scored right before halftime. So I'm happy about that. I think Fermin Lopez should have come on a lot earlier than he did, but whatever. I mean, it's time. We got the 3 points, so I'm not going to criticize Xavi today. We got the 3 points. Wasn't the most beautiful brand of football, but it doesn't matter. We get the result today. And in games like this in the Champions League, all we care about is the result right now, especially with our squad this injured. So I'm happy about that 7 out of 10 from Xavi. Let me know what you guys think of these player ratings. Let me know your player ratings out in the comment section. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.